All right, folks. Hello and welcome back to the qualifier, the grand finals here between Alliance and Nigma. Game number 4. Oh no, I've done it again. Oh, I put the wrong display capture on. Nothing to see there, guys. Welcome back. We're here. Matt has no clue what's going on. He's just
You didn't
staying
link the
awake.
script again, did you?
Hey, what script? What's the script? Oh, do you mean like the observing script sort of thing, so you can like change your settings? You must mean that, right?
Yeah, sure. Just know the FBI's been called and they're on their way.
Good thing I don't live in America. Okay.
MI6 has been called and they're on their way.
Good thing I'm not in the EU. No, that doesn't fit. Anyway, Alliance versus Nigma. They're both in the EU. They're both here. They're sweating it up. It is coming down to the line a little here, as you know, most of these best of fives we've seen recently, Matt, they're usually done and dusted by the fourth game, right? Are we going to see that again, or are we actually going to have a real best of five, a 5-game series? That's what we all dream of. It's what we all want, right? Apart from those of us who are tired and want to go sleep, but just crack a few
Who
Red
could that
Bulls.
be?
Just crack a few Red Bulls and stay up, okay? It's all good.
Or a few. I'm not going to risk hurting any sponsors. Anyway, it depends if Alliance go with that second pick Timbersaw again. I don't think you can reveal that much that early into the draft. Doesn't look like any of the main heroes from the last game been banned out, but Nigma choosing to go for another strategy entirely, picking up the StarLadder first.
I actually like this. I think the StarLadder is like one of the more dominant offlaners right now that you can get your hands on, and it really fits the kind of timings that top tier teams are looking for, right? When you roll out the laner phase. And it feels like the type of offlane that if you actually give them a laning partner and you give them a start to the game, it will deliver for the next 20 minutes easily.
Yeah. Scales pretty well into the late game as well. And minus armor on the StarLadder. Useful for so many things. And here we go. The Snapfire's picked up Void Spirit as well. Still in the pool if Alliance did want to go the full Chi strategy. Puck still there. God, I hate Puck. He's the most busted hero in the game right now.
Yes, no. If I used to agree, but honestly, Void Spirit is more busted because it immediately just completely and utterly counters Puck. That Remnant completely screws over your ability to move away. So I think there's only one way you can get away from the Void Spirit Remnant when you phase shift, and that's based on server tick rate. So yeah, you're gambling on lag. Basically, whenever you die as Puck against Void Spirit, you can now blame lag, is what I'm telling you guys there. I know there's a few Kikwis in the chat that will love me for that. They get the Chen.
See, depending on the Kale, and yeah, picking up the Chen, why not? You've got this early game oriented lineup so far with the StarLadder and the Chen. Even just with the Corrosive Haze and a bunch of Chen creeps, you can easily burst people down.
Most definitely, and I think the other thing to like highlight back on that Snapfire as well is it's just, especially, it's a good thing to not allow the SlarDar Snapfire combo. I think it's one of the more vicious ones available. But Alliance, they kind of forced themselves into this scenario with the Nyx where they had to pick it up to avoid the counter pick. Snapfire is just completely and utterly invalidated by the existence of Nyx, and we already saw how good that was on GH in the previous game as well.
Yeah, both a useful pick for themselves, as well as making sure that it's a bit of a block pick, if you will. Alliance play it reasonably well as well. It fits in with a lot of their type of play style, and we can see now the Void Spirit. It's being banned out, so potentially it is a puck that we might be looking to see come out for Alliance. We know we've seen it in a variety of lanes for them, most likely 2 or a 3, but could still be versatile. It's very good at dealing with the Chen creeps too.
Yeah, most importantly, though, the Void Spirit has been removed from the potential pool. The Troll, of course, being banned out just because, well, it's one of the heroes that you can see Nico maybe want to play, especially when you draft this SlarDar already. I think it's actually one of the best counters on the lane, the SlarDar pick right now, is that mischance just avoids any chance of you getting pushed out. Instead, it's usually SlarDar who's on the back foot, and you can't even invest in that lane at that stage. In fact, in this qualifier, aggressive mode ended up switching a SlarDar to a 4-roll because of that hero popping up in the draft on their opponent's side.
I'm just having a quick look at the time of the previous matches in the series, just to see if there's any sort of trend happening. And I mean, game 1 was just under 32 minutes, game 2 was 24 minutes, and game 3 was 39 minutes. So in what was a very dominant display in Game 3, that was actually the
5 seconds
longest game of the
remaining.
entire series thus far. So we're looking at pretty quick games, and Alliance, they would have to be mindful of, are they going to be able to draft around that? They can't go this later oriented lineup with Rickies and that sort of thing that I feel like they wanted it to scale later on. Of course, it's still effective early on if you get your key timings, but just the way they structured the laning matchups with allowing mind control to solo against a physical damage right clicker. That's kind of redundant, but someone that relies on melee last hits for a lot of the damage as a pugner, you're going to have a hard time. And he just
Alliance's turn to
drained a
pick.
lot of his net worth that he was getting straight into regen.
And Alliance, they go with the tried and trusted Timbersaw. Not always true that it works out going by last game, but this game around you don't have to worry about the Knicks at least. I will highlight that. I think that was the biggest reason that Timber had a full downfall is Knicks just
Mm,
counts everything you want to do.
yeah, and again, it's another
10
one of those
seconds
things that can
remaining.
slow down a lot of this Nigma aggression by
5
getting rid of these
seconds
Chen
remaining.
creeps. It seems like that's the style that they like to play anyway, just run at your face, and Timbersaw drags a lot of attention away from it. It kind of fulfills I don't even want to say a similar role to the Spirit Breaker, but it just tries to get your attention away. I think Nigma's composed enough, though, that
Alliance's
they're
turn
not
to
going to
pick.
get easily distracted.
No, they just need to fix on the draft. There isn't any big leaking issue right now. You haven't gone for a double strength opener if you're Enigma, right? Like if you had the StarLadder and the Snapfire, and then the Timber came up in the situation, then you're sitting there going, crap, this is going to be a problem. But right now, you can just actually play around it, complete your own draft, and focus on what Alliance have coming
10
up next. So I think
seconds
this next pick
remaining.
is going to be more important than the Timber, actually.
Mm.
5
And
seconds
with this
remaining.
first three picks of Nigma, really wouldn't surprise me to see them run that exact same style of tri lane again, right? So you would feel that Alliance want to pick something that's able to just easily win a 1v1 lane. But the thing is, they've most likely picked their 3, 4, and 5 thus far, unless they throw the Timbersaw into mid. So you can't pick something like a Legion Commander just yet that's easily going to win the lane. It's probably one of the biggest guarantees that you can have in that offlane role.
Dire
And
team
they
pick.
are going all the way down
Ring
to that
transfer.
1 second, and they go with a Sven to end it off. So, bit of an interesting decision.
Yeah, we don't see it very often. I've seen a few teams attempt it, usually in conjunction with an IO pick, which, of course, Alliance won't have access to this time as they banned out themselves in their first phase. It's a hero that inherently has a farming mechanism, which is always great. The Ags
10
is considered
seconds remaining.
pretty amazing if you can get your hands on it in time. It just feels like you can't rush it, right? Like
5
in Sven, you
seconds
need
remaining.
probably your Mask of Madness you're looking at, then you're looking at the crits at least. We might see one, possibly two Chrysalises in this game. As we've seen recently, there are a shift towards this cost efficiency of items, right? So I think the other big one right now is Gloves of Haste and how picking up casual Gloves of Haste is high value due to the attack speed versus cost aspect. And of
Yeah,
course, this is a hero that can do that as well, actually. Like Sven is probably one of the high heroes on that list that would benefit from just having a casual glove in his inventory, maybe two. Or if you're Envy, you go the whole mile and you have free casual gloves of haste in your inventory.
just casual.
I
I'm just
recall
having a.
that game. He literally queued up. He was looking at every item that he could buy. He like queued drums at one point. He's like, oh no. He's like anything else that has gloves in it right now. It is a good
I'm just
item
having a
though.
quick look through the history of OG's games because they won a game as Sven, I believe, against NIP. I want to with Samael playing it. I just want to see the type of build that he went because I feel like you're still suffering from the same issues with regards to mobility. So you kind of need someone that's going to be that playmaker in the mid lane. So it wouldn't surprise
10
me for them
seconds remaining.
to go something that's a lot more mobile, like I don't know, a Storm Spirit or
5
an Ember
seconds
Spirit,
remaining.
even something like a Pangolier that's just
Dire
able to get
team
in the middle of a
battle.
team fight and create some chaos. Death Prophet, even. It's
That would
decent
give
against the
them
TA.
push. There is still a puck available for Alliance right now if Nigma doesn't ban it out here. And the
I don't
puck,
know about Puck against TA though.
well, this is the thing. The puck versus TA matchup, it seems to have pivoted a little bit, judging by the qualifiers. The matchups have been more even. Both just seem to farm
10
more or less
seconds
unimpeded
remaining.
now. The only difference, of course, is that puck can get active, whereas TA still wants to
5
farm.
seconds remaining.
Hmm.
I was
And I feel
surprised to
like
see
TA
that
is
as
a
well
lot more
myself.
dependent on her team as well. Are you going
Yeah.
to get those neutral camps stacked up Are you going to get these rotations through that allow her to snowball and be that early game menace? Get all that minus armor before you can build up both in levels as well as farm.
And this is what I also love to see, by the way, whenever you see StarLadder, is that they've picked up this TA. They've given themselves a double minus armor. I think if you're taking StarLadder, the right way you have to do it is you have to have a second element to your team that just stacks up that minus armor. Whether you're talking about a Solar Crest builder or you're talking about the Deso builders, you need one or the other.
So you can't itemize against it on the other team.
Bingo.
It's basically just a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, and when you actually look at the other team, like what they're doing right now, they've got Snapfire that's going to be bulky, doesn't really have much armor. Sven doesn't tend to build into too much armor. Timber, sure, you have the reactive armor element, but that's going to be completely negated. And then you're talking about a hero that doesn't have the best strength gain for a hero with that as his primary stat. I think Timber's somewhere in the 2 range. It might even be like 2.6, 2.9.
Let me check.
3.2, actually. Sorry, a little bit higher, but still, it's for what this hero does and how far forward you have to be. Like we saw it last game, the moment you remove the reactive armor element in some way or form, you just don't exist as a hero.
Especially as it gets... Okay, so they're going with the Ember Spirit here on Nigma's side. So really narrowing the pool. I feel like they were afraid of an Ember Spirit getting picked up against them, banning out the Viper with the previous, with their last ban rather. Could still be a Death Prophet in my mind. It's something that Alliance, at least in previous iterations, have played. I don't think we've seen too many games with it thus far, but it gives a bit of wave clear. It does pretty well against a TA. Batrider's alright too. It's the hero that's going to get in the middle of a team fight, and you've got Timbersaw also creating some havoc.
Yeah.
If they do choose to do like a 5v5 style.
So they've chosen to counter the lane, basically. This will work well against the TA, right? And then you can rotate and easily pick off Miracle before he necessarily gets 6. It does mean that you are pretty heavily in. And this is the way that Alliance usually do thrive, where they've got this 4 protect 1 style around Nico. It's like, what do we do to enable him? Do we make enough pressure on the map? Do we give him space? If that happens, then great. Whereas Nigma, very similarly, can we get enough space for Miracle? And the issue with the Ember on the outer lanes is you have to give it a wide berth, right? You have to stay out of XP range if you're Kuro and try and pressure your opponents out, but he's going to be up against that Timbersaw.
I feel like Miracle's going to have a pretty decent game. It's probably going to be another tri-lane. It's just as strong as the previous one was. Yeah, you don't have the Oracle to lock in place, but yeah, maybe Nigma's going to give Alliance a bit of a taste of their own medicine.
Quite possibly. I mean, like, Nigma in this situation, I think they could try and run a try scenario if Nico Baby just gets left alone against StarLadder. I think you want to try and bully StarLadder out for the first 2 levels at least, and then rotate to deal with Miracle, right? Because like if StarLadder doesn't get a quick free, if he falls behind in terms of XP, the hero does tend to wane off a little, and a hero like Sven can just farm without being harassed off the lane.
Yeah, you can more effectively trade against him. I'm interested to see how Nico is going to go about his skill build, whether it's, is his team going to be stacking up creeps for him to enable him to farm with his greater cleave, or is he going to be like, well, I've got mind control and the TA, I need to build up into my Warcry so that I'm able to even survive a portion of these team fights.
We'll have to see, as Nigma are now chasing match point. An Alliance trying to hang in there and bring it back to a draw at 2-2. Who will come out ahead? Will it be this rapid out of the lane style of Alliance, or will it be the split, farm a little bit, 1-2 items, and then straight into your face with the side of Nigma? Because there is definitely an argument, if you don't pressure Nigma hard enough, they get the Deso timing, they'll get maybe just 1 item with StarLadder, and they can just begin to run at you.
What's your prediction?
So there may have been some documents that the chat saw, and I said Alliance, so it's a lot. I have to. I mean, no, there's no documents. I'm gonna say Alliance, so I'm gonna say Alliance.
Look at all these rats around Nigma's end. Around GH.
Whoa! I guess they're expiring soon. Go crazy. You know what this is?
I mean, they're embracing it.
No, you know what this is,
Alliance, right?
Yeah, look at it. They're kicking Alliance. That's what they do. They're kicking them while they're down. As soon as the rats get down, they kick them. No matter what you do to Alliance, you can't fully take the rat out of them. Although this draft definitely lacks rat in high amounts right now.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, the bigger concern is if Alliance don't keep killing Nigma, they don't do anything. Like, you can farm, sure. But you've got a Timber and a backcore. You need to be making plays early on.
The battle begins.
Yeah. I'm going to be watching Miracle very closely in these team fights as well, because you've got this Nyx Assassin standing around. I'm sure he's going to be more than happy to walk in, pop his Spike Carapace while he's got the Flame Guard up, and that allows the combinations to come through from Alliance. And they don't have the save last time, like with the OD on Nigma's side. So a lot more pressure is going to be put onto, well, everyone really, to save anyone that gets caught out. It's not going to be a one-man effort.
It's definitely the case. But you can never feel that when you look at this side of Nigma and you think about the Chen in this format, it is going to be very much on him to get a decent start. It's unlikely we see the same extent we did last game when you consider how much money he had. Nice sleight of fist dodge from Miracle there. Gets hit by that, it's likely a death, as that should buy enough time for another Scatter Blast. And the pressure on the bot lane in the meantime, 33, even with the reactive armor, is feeling the pain.
Yeah, level 1, not all that effective. And even with that Fade Bolt used onto him, can't even get the last hit onto these creeps when they're underneath the tower.
No, sorry. That's the rough part about this lane. He didn't start with the Quelling Blade, so CS is wholly reliant at the moment on using the Wall and Deaths. Mid lane, meanwhile, you did see Bat Rider actually force this TA very far back, and Wee's already starting to hit creeps, because look at the CS. Limp has 6 denies. 6 denies already.
Doing very well. It could be one of those games where he just takes control in the early stage. TA probably would have been okay to rotate back into the jungle at level 3. Level 2 obviously a lot earlier than he'd be wanting.
No, most definitely. It's a little bit precarious. We've seen these kind of early switches in the jungle, but this means that you're just submitting the mid lane is empty right now, and you can't afford to bring supports from the outer lane, so you have to apply pressure there. Which is what they're doing.
In trouble.
Will go down. First blood gets drawn. Miracle's the one who gets it.
And that was the result of another great slide of fist dodge coming from Miracle. He dodged through the Sven stun. I don't think you can start off with that anymore. It was Hanskin just being a little bit too far up. Maybe if he started the fight with the Impale, doesn't give Miracle quite enough time to react comparatively, and then you could follow up with the Sven.
Yeah, I think the thing for them now is to try and let Miracle, you know, give himself some rope to hang himself with, right? Where he will go for the Flame Guard to farm, and then you have the Spike Carapace plays you could make at level 2 once Hanskin's there. He'll always get good pressure on the Miracle in the meantime, though, so they'll force out a little bit of regen. Problem is, you've got Kuro on this lane. He's got the headdress. He has the Divine Favor. It's not a beneficial scenario. The dents you make are going to be very quickly repaired.
You've even got GH with the Ring of Basilius, so he's regenning up a lot of the mana coming through from Kuro and Miracle. So working well together with the itemization as well as the team play here on Nigma's side.
Yeah, there's no doubt Alliance have a little bit more bulk, but it's just the regenerative capabilities are mainly just in the hands of Nyx, right? One of the higher base regen heroes, but that's it. It's actually evened out.
Here come those magic sticks as well. Purchasing them up on Kuro and GH, it means that they're going to be ready for a fight. They're here to stay.
For the long haul, and Mind Control seems fine with that. He is getting decent CS, 17, 18 free, 33, a little bit ahead on XP because he did start here solo.
Just happy with this, you know, you've got 3 Alliance heroes just sitting back, watching. You can farm a whole creep wave.
Absolutely. The one lane going Alliance's way is going it incredibly decisively, though, as we is just sitting far back in the jungle since that early level 2, and you can already see the level disparity, level 3 to level 5.
I haven't checked the chat yet, but I'm sure it's filled with, like, we hard TA lol, and, you know, all these sorts of things.
See, I didn't want to. I didn't want to suggest
such a good TA, right?
Yeah, but I didn't want to suggest it because I had this feeling like it seems like the obvious choice. Like, yeah, you just go to the Wii hard TA, whoopsie-doo, you've got StarLadder. But it is a logical choice. It's just in this type of game, having Ember and TA, like one of them was bound to suffer. I think when you looked at the heroes that Alliance had, like one of these lanes was going to be thrown to the wolves.
Yeah. Look how aggressive Limp's getting as well, and with good reason. He's sitting at about 1.5 levels ahead of Weeha. Just pressuring him back. Might even force him all the way back to base. No, just gonna go to this top side. And I think it's gonna be really important that Nigma prioritize these next bounties coming up in 15 seconds.
Well, this is why Limp's placed that ward. So now if we happens to go across, you'll see it coming. Even if he gets the rune, you can move quick enough to actually intercept because you'd have the boots and windlace advantage over this TA. It's not like you can do anything else because you're waiting for this creep wave to arrive the catapult, but that's where Limp should just shove down the wave and then apply pressure because they haven't sat anyone in this lane. He's just been left to his own devices completely.
Yeah. And it's actually Alliance taking it. 3 bounty runes to
And they're
1.
gonna take a kill. On the way.
Weeha.
Doesn't even need the last two for the moment, but he will commit it just to make sure. Drags him back, and these are these deep wards that have came out, right, on both sides. Now, he has no way he can recover safely. This is the benefits of running that Bat Rider in the mid, is he's going to be quick to aggression, and he can just dip in and out of that jungle at all times.
His 2 observer wards just expired as well, looking to prevent any sort of ganks that came through from the bot side of the map. Wonder if he's going to purchase up one for himself as he TPs back to the lane, or if he's just going to come in blind.
Looks like he's going to come in blind.
Well.
And this is the thing, Limp can just go there soon as well. Yeah, he'll wait for the last two and then he'll just go again. And sure, it might make the ward obvious, but it can't be emphasized enough how critical the timings of we in this game are. Like, he's the key to the mid game. Usually you look at that blink has been the popularized thing recently over the Deso first. And then you just switch that into an advantage. You go for an early Roche because you have a StarLadder. Just a casual pick off on Fada in the top lane, as Alliance have still been committing 3 heroes here.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about the strengths of Chen being the heal increase, the Divine Favor. You can get neutral creeps. Very, very strong early on. Of course, a natural hand of God, so you're sustainable in team fights. The strongest part of it is the Divine Favor, but it's the recall. That is easily the strongest part of the Chen. Just gives you an extra maneuverability skill early on into this, and Miracle doesn't get that kill if he doesn't have the Chen.
It's especially a brutal lane because it just covers the weaknesses that Ember has before
Mind
6,
control.
right? Like control back and forth, and mind control being the one controlled. A bit slow to catch that one up because you wouldn't expect him to go down that easily, but it seems that he's been given too much room, shall we say. He's been getting deeper and deeper and closer to those tier 2 towers, and Fada aiming to finally punish it. And Limp,
Oh, the haste.
oh, he moves in. Back walk everywhere, drags out the TA and kills her off. Hanskin's even here for the free XP. Smile on his face saying, I'm helping.
Even took the Wild Wing. Oof. That's just rubbing salt in the wound right there. Sven doing pretty decent, at least on the last hits, but sitting in 3rd place right now on net worth, behind the Bat Rider, who's had a fantastic game.
Yeah, and it's not going to let up anytime soon when you get this kind of lead. You can already see it's going to boost the travel, so you can actually be as active on the map as something like the Ember or the Chen that you just mentioned, right? This is how you alleviate the threat that Chen shows, is if you have these cores that can very easily just slide into that item choice. And then everywhere they go on the map, you are waiting.
Does need to be mindful, of course. It's great to get that early boots of travel. He's only about 100 or so gold away, and he's going to look to create a lot of pressure in these other lanes, make even stronger for them early on. But if you give Weeha enough time to come back, a lot of that early work that you've done will be for naught. He can easily come back, make a big impact in these team fights in the mid game.
How much time are we looking at here? Because that's the question, really, isn't it? How long are you going to sit back? Sven farming reasonably well. Maybe you see Nigma just try and actually leverage an advantage off Miracle. Now that he has level 7, he has a lot of damage. He didn't go for the max Flame Guard, though. He did go the route of Slayer Fist, and he doesn't have a point in the route yet. Which will definitely hurt them a little bit there.
You just see here, it is being a little bit more efficient now with Weeha. He's not getting the constant pressure coming out from the Bat Rider, who's rotating through the jungle. He's got the regen rune popped. He's trying to find mind control here, who's fighting in a bit of a precarious position.
Bit is an understatement here, as he'll try for the TP away. He just wants to force the lasso so that it can't be used on anyone else. So selfless of mind control, as he not only saves his teammates from potential future lassos, he also gives gold over to the enemy team. Man of charity.
Also realizing, yeah, the outpost is able to be taken. It's at the moment sitting at a 1-1, will either team look to prioritize it to get that full portion of the experience for themselves?
It would be a bit greedy at this point, I think. You've had ups and downs from both sides, and if you push that advantage too hard, I don't think the value is as there as it was apparent last game, right? Like last game where there was a lot of XP hungry type heroes that relied on that. This time around, it's the type of thing that you could easily just overextend on and be punished for. And you see it. Both sides just playing a little bit more defensively. Apart from the murder of Chorus.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Eventually gets him. Bannerines probably going to be an even split, seems like it.
Yep,
They're going a bit more of a farm-intensive build, realizing that they've got the best of the early game here on Alliance, and now you've got this Mask of Madness build on Nico. Wouldn't be shocked if he looked to transition into doing Ancients, perhaps. Or, no, just happy to take the large cap.
It would be nice to maybe see a few stacks being made, but it's the activity on the map right now. It's a bit back and forth, right? Like, you've got this situation where someone's freeing up a lane, so another one of the Alliance support members can actually just go farm. So then it's just Fada waddling back and forth, looking for a place. And XP is more important than gold for this hero. Once you hit 6, that's where you can make some plays off the back of the kisses.
And I was talking early on about what build is Nico Baby going to go with this Fen. Even though he was in the tri lane and potentially, at risk of losing his life a few times because of the tri lane coming out from Nigma, he didn't opt to go into a Warcry build to enable the rest of his fellow laners. He's gone into this full farm build, which means that now it's pretty efficient. They came out of the laning stage in a good spot, and now we can actually transition to extending that net worth.
It's all about that acceleration, right? Like, you have other heroes that are meant to make plays. When you pick the Bat Rider as a core, that should be the hero that your supports are able to play off of in this point in the game. You should be able to have a traditional one that just wants to hit creeps, and that's exactly what they have, while they also have 33 on the other side of the map, just applying pressure at all times to this tower and being ignored for all intents and purposes so far.
Yeah, but look what happens. You leave that Templar Assassin alone for a few minutes, and he's level, or she's level rather, on experience with a Bat Rider and getting very close to catching up on the net worth as well.
Not expecting to make plays anytime soon, though. Not going for the Blink Rush, has gone for the Death Zone instead. There's been a little bit of a switch over recently. More the TAs have been going towards the Blink first. It does accelerate your farm, of course, moving camp to camp. Fada in the top lane will be brought down, and it looks like Hanskin will die as well. That Sleight of Fist being maxed out, but they will find the kill on the Mind Control in response. It was in Nico Baby's farming pattern.
I feel like Mind Control on this StarLadder is playing a very similar style of role to GH's Nyx Assassin from the last game, and the way that Ice tends to play on his, run at you heroes on Fnatic, and StarLadder is actually one of the key ones that he chooses to play for them. It just creates a whole lot of space. He realizes that right now he's not the most important hero to get farm and experience. It's all about enabling Weeha to come back into this game, and he's done a great job at it.
Oh, this double invis. You'll make it out, though. You're right. It's kind of like you're just role-playing the Joker, right? You just tell him Batman to hit you a little bit more, and that's what we've always seen traditionally from off-laners. It's the role that's meant to take a beating. I remember last year, the rule of thumb was if you end the laning phase with less than 6 deaths, you've done okay. And then we moved through to the heroes that can't actually truly lose their lane because they just fall back and become supports, like the Legion and the Abaddon. And now we're coming around with these heroes that, with a little bit of farm, because they're bulked up, because they're strength heroes, they can still have relevance as the game scales on. And StarLadder is definitely one of those, key among them, in fact.
Yeah, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for a while. A smoke gang coming out from Alliance. They're going towards this bot side. They're going to try and get a key pick off at the start of this encounter. Up until now, the Boots of Travel hasn't really done all too much work for Limp. And
I like this PP
GH, I don't know if that's the best option.
Oh, they are going to try and move towards the back line. The wraparound is going to be there, but GH is buying some time from the Warcry to run away further. They are chasing on. The pings come out, but Miracle is being left alone. Instead, they are hunting for different targets. They're just not sure what they can still find. The Kisses are going to come out. They'll be able to even up and get a kill on the Handskin, and the Kiss is still doing a lot of damage. Now, on the Mind Control. As I bring it down, it'll be 2-for-1 trade. Yep, you get that cheeky pick on the Nyx. You do at least force out the Kisses. That's a big cooldown, and your TA and Ember do get out in one piece.
Yeah, but Weeha, he was just happily farming the entire time. Sure, also was happening on Nico Baby, but that's not the big deal. He's not going to come online quite as fast as his TA does. Desolator now finished up. We've got just a couple of clarities coming out to him. He's going the BKB next, realizing that a lot of this early damage is going to be magic based, and then probably going to the Blink Dagger once that's all finished up.
Well, it seems that Nico Baby is going for a more early game focused build. He's not going for any more damage. He's not trying to increase his farm speed. He's going straight to that BKB. So it seems that the focus is sitting here going, okay, we know we have this leverage advantage on the Batrider and his ability to pop the refraction quickly from Wii. We then have an in as a result, and that control can enable us to get kills. Just like the last two is going to enable him to get a kill on a GH who stuck a little bit too deep and gone. Hand of God was used for nothing. That's a big cooldown. 160 seconds now without your clutch save.
Yeah, a bit of a concern. Still has the mech, so some team fight capability here. We can see here it's all about the sustain for this point in time. Popping the ice armor onto the TA is Kuro with his creep that he just picked up.
Of course, the problem
15
is going to
minutes as
have is shifting around the map quickly, right? Your team's still going to be split because they're not ready to fight, so they need to maximize farming efficiency. And when you look at Alliance's side, this Batrider now with the boost of travel, the Nyx prowling around with the Vendetta. There's a lot of opportunities where Nigma just gets caught out solo. And the only hero that's maybe somewhat safe to do that now is Mind Control, who has begun to bulk up now to 1600 HP.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant realizing that, well, Dire's been off the map for a little bit, and we've got the Desolator, we've got the StarLadder. It's a very serious risk of Roshan being picked off in, what, 15 seconds?
Quite possibly. It's always at risk, though. You need to get some sentries down first because you don't know if Hanskin is just going to walk over in that area. You can see how he's actually fixating around this top area, so he's always able to wrap towards the primary jungle or get to Roshan time. And you will see GH still the Welling Death. It is a brave choice of spell. I'm not sure if it's the one he wanted, but if he could get deep enough and live for a few uses, it would definitely have a lot of value against the Timber and the Sven. This should just be him trying to increase his farm rate. Usually when you're playing Ruby this stage, it's like, what spell can I steal that will allow me to clear creep waves and just rush towards my next item?
Yeah. We've still yet to have a true, you know, big 5v5 team fight or even 4v4, so I'm interested to see what Alliance and Nigma have as their target priorities in these upcoming encounters.
Is under attack.
You'd have to think it's picking off the Chen would be the big priority for them, you know. Hand of God, mech, so big.
Sounds good. Trying to pick him off. Moving in. Trap will slow him down. Reinforcements are coming in, but they won't hard commit for the life of the Nyx, which has already been taken. They do find the StarLadder on the bot lane. Now they just need to get the Timber out. And the Kisses will send them away. Miracle think twice about going deeper. In fact, he wants to move away. Throws out a Remnant. Cookie in the wrong direction. 33. I think that was a little bit of a pathfinding issue right there. But Nico Baby, he pings it out. He says, force him back right now. And he's waiting with the Stormhammer going out, but they won't dive the tower. They know there are traps down. All in all,
Just a little bit of a disconnect there on Alliance. Nico Baby, without going these movement speed items, without these maneuverability items as well, with the Blink Dagger, relies so heavily on the rest of his team to get stuff done, either through the Snapfire Cookie or through the Batrider just dragging people straight back to him.
that should change soon, though. He's about to hit 15. He does have the option of movement speed, although the hammer dispelling enemies in this type of game is pretty valuable. Mid lane.
Juicy to have, especially against that Flame Guard.
Yep. Oh, the
Refraction.
melt damage. Timber's just gone instantly now. Chased forward on the Fada. With that corrosive haze up, the right clicks and Miracle do more than just tickle, and the speed at which they take this tower should enable them to just fall back straight into the Roche Pit because Alliance have just lost 2.
Yeah, you could just hear there on Nigma's side, they're like, I have finished farming, and they just continue, just go in, bang, dead. Let's get this timer on this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1 point.
It's not quite how we do
Zero.
maths, Matt, but he tried.
I saw your message, chat.
Hey, you know, they don't know whether it's true or not. Enigma needs whatever many points. I just pressed 4 numbers on my keyboard. Enigma proving that actually with their lineup, the way it functions right now, if they press every button on their keyboard, if they hit every spell, it's overwhelming for Alliance right now. They're in a situation where Sven is at that awkward factor. You can see that he's going towards the Chrysalis next, and then yes, he actually hits hard enough to deal with this, and he did go for the Dispel. This is reaching the stage where they can fight back, because now you can Dispel the Refraction, you can get rid of the Flame Guard. There's a lot of ways you can actually approach this team fight as a Sven.
Yeah. perspective to have. That Chrysalis so hot right now. It just feels like everyone's talking about it, especially for the gold investment that you're putting into it. Just have a quick review of the, well, we've got a bit of a quiet period in the game. What the areas being prioritized are. You know, you can see here there's a lot of defensive wards coming up on Alliance's side, making sure that NicoBaby is actually able to come online with a lot of this stuff. He's got the Chrysalis, he's going next into the Assault Cuirass, but it's a lot more aggressive on Nigma's end. You can see
And
those deep
you can
wards
see-
in. They're not in that tri-camp area, so they're going hunting.
Exactly. They smoked up. The vision is good around the pit, right? They know what the priority is. The way that their draft functions, it's all about Roche when you have this much minus armor. So they're always going to prioritize that area. And it wouldn't be surprising if they can look for a pick and then just convert a tier 1, tier 2 tower push.
Yeah,
But right
good
now-
presence of mind by Alliance to realize that they've been off the map for a while
Exactly.
and TP back, but they've still got that vision on Nigma's side.
And they're picking the DD on B.
I
That
don't
should
know
be
about
a
that.
move away from that ping, if anything. He's already proven to 33 how easy it is to bring him down and why he has the W next to his name compared to 33. It does stand for win in this situation, as Timbersaw, even with that SS ring, even with almost 2k HP, has been proven to be very easy paper to shred for the side of Nigma.
Yeah, he's got that BKB built up as well now onto Weeha, so even more of a threat. They realize, you know what, we actually don't need to go for kills. We can happily push down this bot side. We can take the outpost. They're not going to have anywhere to TP2 once we take this one down. They're pretty happy, but you can see Alliance here. They've got a smoke coming through from the mid lane. I don't think they were sitting under any sort of wards either, so could catch Nigma unawares, especially if Miracle gets caught out.
Last two to drag him in.
Upper hand
Spike
of God.
Carapace follow up. Everything but the kitchen sink for the kill on to the boss 1 player of Nigma. And there's a hunt.
Kuro, he's getting gone on.
He already used the hand of God as well, so 33 is just going to toy with him. Slow him down a lot, and he can throw out some more
Might be a
spells in a
bait.
sec, but there it is. They're going to bait him in a little bit. He does have the Essence Ring. Now the stun's coming out. Connects on the 2.
Kuro.
NicoBaby moves in. The damage way too much. Mind Control tried to run away. The kisses from afar just to zone them out. And look who else went in. He thought he could actually pierce that backline. He thought he could even up the fight, and now he's completely and utterly outnumbered. The BKB gets activated. He'll go for the TP away. He will be able to make it, but that is not the way he envisioned using his fresh BKB.
Oh, absolutely not. And Kura, he walked into that Stormhammer. It's a pretty slow travel time. Very surprising from such a veteran. And he actually didn't pop the Hand of God throughout that entire fight. He picked up the medallion at the very start as well. Didn't use it on the target they were going on. Maybe these long series, they can get to even the best of players.
Definitely problematic.
Timber.
And 33. And he's confident now. He's like, okay, what you done to me before isn't going to happen. Not while StarLadder is dead. It's not a possibility anymore. I can go back to what I feel good at, which is being a tanky mofo. And all of a sudden, look at NicoBaby's net worth as well. It's spiked after that fight, up to 13,000 net worth. He's building the lead. And this is important. You look at Alliance's draft, it is all about this Sven. The other two are meant to peak off. It comes to a point in the game where he has to do everything for his team. And the rest of his
Found him
team just
again.
controls. And Ember found again, just nowhere near tanky enough.
And he's even gone at pretty defensive builds, you know. The drums obviously gives him fitter stats. Maybe the faded brooch isn't the best option for him, but do they even have anything better for him to pick up? I mean, the Imp Claw is pretty nice.
I think he just needs more movement speed. Because the whole idea is if they jump on you and you get a small window, you want time with a slight fist to remnant away, right? And that movement speed does help there. It's also why he's going for the Ags.
Yes. I think the other option, the other argument towards that is if you've got the Imp Claw, you can clear waves longer. You're not going to be in an unsafe position for quite as long, and their pickoff potential is hindered because of it.
True. I think like the counter point would maybe be around the fact like he doesn't have Maelstrom, right? So in this
Oh,
game,
they're going to
it's
find
always
mind
been
control up
close.
here, I think.
There they ping it.
He's slithering away.
They know he's somewhere around here, but there's a lot of trees to check. Like looking for a
No
squirrel in a
scan pop just
forest
yet.
right now. And he'll just cut his way out. Hanskin will just go invis and just move forward. They've already got Timber getting the wave, so they're ready to shove in for this tower. And there's a rotation coming out from Nigma. And Hanskin gonna walk straight in. Kuro the target, the perfect kill. Won't even get a chance to really use the combo. You can throw a hand at God, but it won't achieve anything. It'll just go down. The kisses are coming in the meantime. 33 stands his ground and forces the BKB out of Wii. And there's the last two. The jumping comes out. The steal's going to be used. Sure, it's good. But when are you going to use it now that you don't have a TA for 60 seconds? I'll tell you what Alliance are going to use. They're going to use their very focused fingers to right-click on your buildings and probably come up to the high ground for a little bit.
Yeah, perfect timing of that lasso as well. As soon as it was running out, that was when the BKB was expiring onto Weeha. So just meant that all the stun combos could happen afterwards. And I'm telling you, I've got MI6 on speed dial for you, Pidge. It's looking pretty ominous.
I'm the Oracle. Farda didn't get to play the hero this game, and I'm just proving that, in theory, maybe not in Dota, but in life, I'm a better Oracle, because Alliance, this is looking in their favor. They're ticking the boxes. They're meeting the requirements of their draft, and they don't overextend. They don't go up to the high ground. They realize, actually, guys, if anything, we just need to set up for the next Roche situation. That is going to be our opening into the high ground, and with the way that it's going for Nigma right now, they're going to struggle to fight. It's also the fact that without the kisses, you don't feel too confident as Alliances. That is still a huge element of this team fight that screws Nigma over.
Yeah.
And there's the Ag queued up for Nico, baby.
Yeah.
Are scared.
I hope we've got another smoke coming through from here.
If Limp breaks this is fine, though. And he blinks away. Oh, they didn't get it. They started the slide fist on the creeps. So close. Yet so far.
Nighttime as well. That's some insane reaction times. 33,
Someone's
very
up.
deep.
Now, lasso that was stolen is going to be used to spend the big target, the optimal one for them, with the lasso, the real one, using the TA to drag away. And Nico, baby, he's going to survive through this. The BKB throws out the stun. He's going to hide for the moment, tries to finish off Nico, baby, needs one more hit, trying to chase in. Limp tries to cover him, but no, he's the one who gets him killed. The side blade! It splashes through and he kills off his own Sven. They've lost two on the side of Alliance. They're going to have to force themselves away from this fight, but they're not quick enough. They're going to lose another one on the exit. Farda's going to go down. The chasers on 33 will look to escape. There is a lift for GH. He'll keep eyes on, and with the chains, they see everything they need to. They just need to be careful around this tree line, not to screw themselves over. And with the corrosive haze finally arriving, they've been waiting so long. Mind Control says, don't worry, guys, I got this. With the stolen world and death, they'll bring him down. They'll hunt for more. Limp, the man who murdered his carry, will join him in the grave as the entirety of Alliance get wiped. And I think what you just done there, Matt, you cursed it.
Did I? No. What cursed it was, yes, a huge portion of that damage. Actually, let's have a look at the fight recap. Who did the majority of the damage? That's what I thought. I thought it was Miracle, because in the beginning of that fight, there was a double damage that had just spawned at the top, just up in the top river area. And I believe 3-3 had the opportunity to go and pick it up, but he didn't immediately move towards it. Wanted to be that frontline presence in the team fight, allow the Sven not to immediately get popped. But as a result, Miracle wisely remnanted forward and picked it up. Would get combo down now though if he's not too.
Meteor Hammer gets interrupted. Free to do what he wants with the corrosive haze out. Nyx is gone, chasing Nico, baby, trying to do what he can, but the heals buys Miracle time that he can move away. And now you use your BKB, use your God Strength. You don't get anything for it. You're still the ones who lose a hero. There's no way you can chase anymore. Nigma can just now wait for Roche, and then they can go and take themselves a second life so they can approach your high ground.
They've got the advantage of information too. It's only 20 seconds away, and that TA trap will reveal it as soon as it pops up.
And what do you really have, right? It's not just the God Strength for the BKB. Use the kisses again. That's 80 seconds. That's your highest success spell in these kind of choke points, right? That's your most valuable asset in the team right now. And we saw how quickly they done Roche before. They ping it out. They can just go straight in, and it'll take a matter of moments for the side of Nigma to clear this.
I'm not gonna count it down this time, but it'll
They got
go
an orb
quick.
destruction as well. It's gonna go quicker. What the? What? Gaben? The timing on this orb destruction appearing and Roche spawning
3, 2, 1.
is
Got
two
it.
parts of an Illuminati form right there. And so's your account.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm just accurate, you know. I'm the Oracle. I'm the Oracle. It's not you.
You'd be a terrible person to just play rock, paper, scissors with if that's how you count down.
Dude, nothing beats rock.
Well, I can tell you that Alliance are between a rock and a hard place right now, as Nigma are going to just smoke up and look to keep the aggression going as they move forward.
They know what's happening. They're running with their tails between their legs right now. Until Nigma show themselves, I don't think they want to be anywhere near any of these creeps.
Surprised that Ember didn't go for a little poke. Obviously, you're worried because you can actually be burst down fairly easily, but now that you have the Ags, you can just quickly spam him for a scout and then out again. Obviously, your hope is that they're going to come into the primary jungle trying to farm up a little, but at that point, it's a little bit broadcasted, right? Because Nigma's not showing on any of the lanes. Things are being left a little bit static, and they just took Roche. You can kind of anticipate that they are coming bot.
Yeah. I'm really liking this Presence of Mind to TP up towards the top outpost, knowing that they've got the great vision around the Radiant jungle. The only outpost at risk would be the top one.
The preemptive strike.
Allows them to secure both.
And they see 33. He doesn't want to go on him, though. They're just interested in the bounty rune situation, as no one has taken the one's bot yet. But of course, Nigma have a dominant advantage when it comes to mobility across the map. They have a nice little splashy StarLadder who can just sliver up the river. And then obviously they always have Miracle in this Ember, as well as that Chen factor. Can never forget how impactful that relocation across the map can be.
And what have we got queued up next on this TA? Going into the Bloodthorn, okay.
That's going to be vicious. This is
Surviving
jump.
in the short term, far.
Stun defensively. Follow up though. Last is
this
going
is
to be
really
thrown
nice.
out on a Miracle to cleave through. This is enough to bring him down. The Hand of God will not save their lives. 2 dead on the side of Nigma, and they just need to get out right now. They cannot afford to lose more heroes. Limp. He is propelling forward, looking for any target he can. He won't see Chen as Kuro managed to TP away, but the Yules is going to come out. Oh no! Oh no! That should be a tip situation, but I think we is too busy running away still to give him a tip, as he will blink away
Maybe when he's back in
successfully.
base.
I
The
think
fat
it's too late. The
finger.
moment's passed right there. I don't think that's the fat finger. That must be a fat mouse right there.
Is under attack.
One of those awkward moments where you just get the pitch perfect blink distance, right? You like, sometimes it happens. While these pros do know the blink ranges quite well, you can just move a little bit too fast. All of a sudden, you're a little bit closer than you expected. And whoopsie daisy angel from there. But as we can see, Alliance, they still have a way to win this. They still have the power of Sven, of Nico Baby in this game. And if they get the Axe complete as well, he won't necessarily be relying on the lassos to set up kills. He won't need this team of caterers feeding him at his table. He'll be able to go out and hunt for his own food.
Yeah, we've got Nigma grouping up as well on the bottom side of the map. I wonder if they might look to get Miracle's level 20 before they go for a full push. You've got a big wave coming through. You can see Mind Control's hanging back a little bit just to make sure he's getting that full portion of the experience. Picks it up. Now he's got that extra spell amplification, and with some of these BKBs running quite low, especially on Nico Baby, he's sitting at 7 seconds. 2 of them used in pretty quick succession to not much use. It's going to be a lot more of an issue for them.
Sven, definitely one of those heroes that looks for that initial burst, right, though. You're trying to flip that advantage. So it's a matter of whether Nigma can minimize those losses in the first few seconds and then
It's a bit of a
just
bait
wait
here,
it out.
maybe.
33. I mean, it's not the ideal opener. I'm not really sure what the play is for here for We. I think he was concerned that they maybe saw him more than anything else. He's just more or less mocking him at this stage. They want to try and
I
bait him
think
into a sense of security, though.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not
Brennan?
necessarily just him, it's the rest of the team.
Oh no, the stun! Hopefully time the lasso as well, the follow-up. Now Nico Baby will go to work the Hand of God to try and save him, but it's too late. He's going to go down. The buyback's going to come out, but he doesn't have a spirit out here. Buyback from StarLadder as well. They need to try and get people out or find kills. They'll find Batrider in the meantime. 33 will just make his escape in time, just in the nick, in fact. And Hanskin, he'll look to escape as well, able to do so. The buybacks are for nothing, and it looks like Sven is also away. They're hunting. They're going to hunt the wrong way, though. As he remnants in, he's scouting everywhere. Maybe he'll see him. He moves across in time, but the stun's going to come out. And they're not close enough. It's too far out. The use does get reflected. Miracle gets controlled up, and he wants this kill so badly, but he needs to be careful. The turnaround opportunity could come out.
Aegis expires.
Jump in. Double stun. Now the kisses as well. The follow-up is looking good. They're going to burst them down. Miracle eats the cheese just in time. Mind Control has to retreat, though. Nico Baby, look at that stun opportunity. This is coming off cooldown. You also control them up, but StarLadder, that's going to be the dieback. And Miracle says, I don't know you guys. I know you shoe up to back me, but I am leaving right now, and you're either with me or you're out. And out for the count GH will also be as he gets caught on the retreat. Alliance strike back again as Nigma, after the big buybacks, they get a little bit too greedy and they pay the price.
Yeah, big value to get that miracle buyback, but 2 also expended on, actually just the 1 expended onto Limp to be able to counter all of that. So it's still anyone's game. The script still, you know, a possibility.
You keep talking about the script. I didn't realize you're that big a fan of that band. But this game, I'm a big fan of, as we are now even on the net worth. And this really could go either way. And you have win conditions potential on each side. Not as big a one for Nigma to exploit and getting a kill on the Bat Rider, because they still need to do the spend. But now, Nigma, no buyback on both your Ember and your StarLadder. This is knowledge to Alliance, as you just brought them back in a few moments ago, and it backfired viciously. Lasso.
Oh, they've gone onto the chin.
Screw your sustain, they say goodbye to the captain of Nigma. Nico, baby, holding on that God Strength until he sees a golden opportunity. Meteor Hammer will mitigate most of the value actually coming out from your Glyph. And 33, just trying to whittle away at him, but he'll be able to make it out. It's just a matter of asserting dominance over Nigma in their own base, and then prepping around the Roche area for when it's time to take your advantage.
Yeah, great patience from Kuro as well, not expending his buyback. So if they look to do a similar sort of thing, just maybe a fake back, try and push someone in, they might try and pick off Weehar up here. No Aegis left on him, but he's wise enough to back off. Still looking to go into that Solar Crest. Get Weehar all of that damage.
Kisses.
Oh, they found
Miracle.
the Ember Spirit again.
They interrupted him. They couldn't actually get the Meteor Hammer for some follow-up. Instead, the Kisses are going to be more or less wasted. Handskin in a little bit of trouble down to half HP. Bind time, Alert Silver's on him. The Stomps are coming out from the Centaurs, doing what they can. 33 being ignored. They'll bring down the Nyx Assassin. But Mind Control, he might be the cost. As they jump in, overwhelm him. He's down for 60 seconds again. Remember, he does not have buyback as he committed earlier as well. And they know this. So they might just back off now, as Roche could be spawning quickly. 20 seconds is a minimum window. And if Alliance get a very quick spawn here, it might be that the script gods do in fact favor them.
And it's not even Nico Bebe having to rely on the rest of his team anymore for the mobility. He's got the Superman Ags, so he's going to be able to jump into these team fights. Might cause him to be out of position a couple of times, but could be the game changer as well for them. Nearly 3 minutes until this respawn, though, onto Roshan.
Long as possible. Breath of Life, Enigma will give them the breathing room that they need. They can get to a point where buybacks will almost be available again. Obviously, knowledge that they don't know, and us casters and spectators do, but you can feel it. If you see Alliance start showing across the map, likely Roche is not something they're doing right now, and that gives you time to get out, get some wards down, get a little bit of control on the map.
And I feel like now it's the stage of the game where the target priorities changed so much. Right now, I think it's more of a priority on Nigma to get a backstab happening, to try and find this Snapfire at the early stages of the fights, because these Mortimer's Kisses are doing a lot of work. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if, at this rate, if this continues with the amount of gold he's getting, you might even see him just think about something like a Kyra after this 4 stuff. Just amp that up a little bit more if you can. It is greedy, but right now with the fact that Ember still doesn't have a BKB and has no intentions of building one, and now with the BKB being as short as possible and maximum damage achieved.
Yeah. You've got almost all components of the Sheepstick as well coming out for 3-3's Timbersaw. Only about 1,200 or so gold away, and I think that main priority is going to be Timber chaining in and Sheeping Miracle before he can get off that Yules. It's been a couple of times now he's been able to live on very little health and mana. Just through the use of that defensive Yules allows the rest of his team time to rotate in. Mind Control can get off a Key, Slither, and Crush. Kuroki can get off his Mechanism as well as the Hand of God and turn the team fight around.
And you are actually at a stage where when you think about the fragility on both sides, you mentioned the Snapfire, how vulnerable it is. Not able to actually try and stack up farm. At all times, Miracle is really the only one who can show on these lanes. Mind Control may be on the other side of the map just because you waste a lot of the time. You're not up in the 20s. It's not an insanely long respawn time. But you really are at a stage where anyone on the side of Nigma who dies, well, Alliance now have the damage that we aren't looking at those concerns they had earlier, right? Where they can't hit buildings. It's a little bit too slow. Now you have this Sven who is just slotted and ready to fight.
And the Meteor Hammer if you need to.
Yeah, a little bonus on the side.
Assuming you get a team wipe.
And then it's also, even if you have glyphs, this is the beautiful thing about Snapfire and why it's so strong is Little Shredder. you can just slowly delay your attacks onto the tower so that even with the multi-shot glyph, it gets out maybe one attack in the entire glyph duration.
Yeah.
As Ice
Takes a
Frog
bit
clearly
of
intended.
yeah, takes a bit of practice, but nice little clever use of game mechanics there. Roshan's up. They're going in onto him. Limp's TPing away, realizing, you know what, I've got these boots of travels. I'm going to be able to join these team fights again pretty quickly, although looks like he's just running straight back there. I'm not sure what the TP back was for.
I think he was the Ghost Scepter. Is maybe just refill the ball actually. And
No, I just TP'd to like the tier 3 bot.
oh, okay. Maybe he's worried about them actually committing to a bush in. That could be it. Way too much damage on
We're at
spend.
the
This is
40-minute
not quick. Well, here's the problem. Roche at the 40-minute mark actually hurts. And is very tanky, as Nico Baby's been finding out. So they'll have to give up the aspirations of quickly taking Roche. It looks like they might need to just take a fight first, because they don't want to commit the God Strength to try and kill off Roshan. And the smoke comes out. Nigma looking to pounce first. 33 not the target they want, though. They're going to wrap around wide. They need to get control of the high ground area again, so they have an advantage to play off.
Yeah, they need to find the Snapfire early on. Still got the outpost to be able to TP back to if he needs, but
They revealed.
this is going to be a big clash here.
They revealed on Limp's illusion. They got baited in. They'll scout what's going on right now, but Hanskin's waiting nearby to make sure that Miracle cannot get in, as he still does not have a BKB. Spike Carapace.
on the backside.
Now they'll jump in. There goes Superman. The kisses as well. A kiss farewell to Miracles. He's brought down. Dead for
Very nice
110
indeed.
seconds. And he's in too deep. He's taking way too much damage, but he will not get away. The Yules is there. The BKB did not last long enough. And Weeheart is going to go down as well. He has a buyback, but there's no point committing now. Nigma cannot fight in the pit. Instead, Alliance will be claiming the third Roshan of this game.
Oh boy. This is getting spicy, Pidge.
We're looking like it might be 5 games at this rate, because that is an 80-second window. 80 seconds without all of your damage. And God Strength
Not
is
like they
available
have
at
any of
50.
these heroes left either that can quickly get a pick off, you know, turn a 5v3 into a 4v3 or anything like that. Those heroes are dead. They're in the grave.
No, and your
multiple lanes
StarLadder
getting
isn't
pushed
built to murder. Your StarLadder is built to sustain and control. And there's the buyback. TA is back in, but they know the Ember isn't. They know he can't be. Kuro slowed down, but the trusty Lotus. 33 just keeping mind control at bay. Needs to be careful himself as he's taking a lot of damage now. Controlled up, but the Guardian Greaves will protect him. And he'll slowly waddle away. It's just all a distraction from Nico, baby. Lasso. They're going to drag out. Ghost Scepter means they can't even try and engage on him. And Rubik is gone for 80 seconds. Buyback instantly. They need everyone alive to cover each other. Like brothers on the front line. Nice stun coming out to free, but it's not going to achieve much. They're too tanky. BKB, mind control cannot be stunned up at least. And Fada has gone in. They need to get him out. Force stuff away. Back to allowing 33 to tank for them. They have got the kisses in 10 seconds, and they've got God's Strength available. Yes, Ember will be up, but Alliance will be at full firepower.
Just buying time right now. Solar Crest being used defensively constantly by Kuroki. Using it onto the Sven to slow down any sort of push, and you know, losing a tier 3 tower, not the biggest deal in the world anymore.
Absolutely
To
not.
get out of that with just a buyback, 2 buybacks, but you would think that you might be at a much more significant disadvantage.
Oh no, Spike Carapace. They baited him. GH just stunned himself. He pulled back. He can't afford to go down, but the kisses are committed onto him. The Hex as well. He is going to be burst down and killed for 100 seconds, as he's not just here. The Hand of God was used, but it did not save the life of StarLadder. Now you have your damage, but you no longer have your control. Jump in. Dodge out. Miracle able to move away. But now Nico, baby, he's activated the God Strength. He's going to want more than just these racks. And with a huge creep wave pushing on bot, they have options open to them. They might just try and end it. In they go.
Oh,
Stun
it's a
out.
crook.
Silence as well. Chen is going to go down. Lasting control as well. It will allow them to burst through Miracle. And it looks like we are going to need a game 5 here in this grand final.
That's alright, it didn't need sleep anyway, but what a game, you know, being able to take it to this point, pops the refresher shard, able to go use the second God Strength, he's in onto the tier 4 towers.
We hasn't given up yet. They're going to make him, though. Stick his head in the mud and make him submit. GG gets called. 2-2 is the score. We are going to need the 5th game here. It is going the whole mile between the sides of Alliance and Nigma. And what a back and forth affair.
Yeah, that's fair. if you've got the team to play around it, it can get a ton of work done. But I think the Snapfire was the key differential there in those team fights. Just a huge amount of damage to be dealt from a very, very safe range. You don't need to be sitting in the middle like a Crystal Maiden or anything like that. Just sit on the back ends of the team fights. Even within a smoke, a couple of times it happened. And wow, what a game, what a series. And only one game remaining.
Yep, you wish we could go forever, but it's gonna have to have a victor soon, and the next game will crown someone as winner of this qualifier and get them that one spot for the EU region in this minor from StarLadder. And right now, it could go either way. That's the beautiful thing when you get to that fifth game. There is going to be some concerns, some talks about fatigue. Maybe Nigma have been playing longer in the day. Will they find a little bit of burnout? But it's also team to team based. One thing is for sure, though, after that bounce back, after what was looking a bit shaky, Nigma will get a little bit of control. For Alliance to come back in like that, they are definitely going to be going confidently into this final game. And Nigma need to pick themselves up, give them a slap around the face, get those soldiers in line and ready to fight back. Short break, and then we will return here for the fifth game between Alliance and Nigma.